It appears that not only are there several cases of strange sightings of a ghostly female figure with long black hair wearing a long white gown, with many different origin stories of the spirit featuring tragic tales, but that these spirits appear all across the world in many different countries completely isolated from the myth all across history. This has led many to believe that a lady in white ghost can appear from almost anyone, and will usually take the form when a woman undergoes a tragic event, while remaining pure of heart. So today we take a look at 5 haunting stories about a lady in white. The Cussler Nag of Indonesia. Indonesia holds a strange, rich history of ghost sightings, and claims involving that of the recently deceased returning back to the living, to terrorize anyone of whom they come across. One of the most popular stories of such strange sightings involves that of the Cussler Nag. According to a number of witness reports, this paranormal entity is said to be a lady dressed in a long white gown, that's stained with a dark red blood. The legend claims the woman appears only during a full moon, and that if you happen to be too close when she arrives, she will dig her long fingernails deep into your stomach, and begin to devour your organs as you're still alive. The only way to know if this creature is nearby is if you hear the sound of a baby crying softly or a dog whining. If you happen to hear a baby crying loudly or a dog begin to howl, then it means this creature is moving away, and is no longer in the area. The woman is not always easy to spot, however, as the ghost is capable of taking on the form of a beautiful woman. This is in the hopes of luring men in to be devoured. Others claim that if you don't close your eyes when the ghost is near, it will become so enraged by you staring at it that it will begin to tear your eyes out. Others who have seen the woman have said she is friendly. This is, however, until you start to speak to her and she changes completely. The Dhaka Airport Road. Described by locals as being the most popular and frequently sighted ghost from all across the country is that of the Lady of the Dhaka Airport Road. According to the legends surrounding the Dhaka Airport Road, there appears to be a female ghost dressed completely in white that will make random appearances along the road. It's also said this ghost has led to a number of car accidents over the years. Though there have been a number of sightings and different origin stories of the ghost, there's one that stands out as the most commonly told story about the legend. According to the legend, the ghost fits many of the Lady in White's descriptions, with long black hair, pale skin and a long flowing white gown, and is commonly seen running across the road at superhuman speeds. Many drivers have claimed that the sighting of this Lady in White has led them to crashing on the road in the early hours of the day, leading many to speculate this could have been the cause of the spirit's death. The Dhaka Airport Road is known for being one of the oldest roads in Bangladesh, and so carries with it a steep and heavy history. Some have speculated that perhaps the woman in white was that of a lady that had experienced some form of trauma, and passed away on the Dhaka Airport Road, forever to haunt it for the rest of time. Though this is only one instance and tale of the elusive Lady in White, the truth surrounding the legend appears to be all the more frightening as more and more sightings of the ghost have been made all across the country of Bangladesh. The taxi passenger in white. There have been a number of sightings of the Lady in White ghost across the Philippines. However, there is one story that stands out the most, as it's become the most commonly told story surrounding the legends of the ghost, and its behaviour in the country. According to the legend, the spirit of the Lady in White belonged to a long-haired woman of whom was wearing a white dress on her way to her wedding. Suddenly, as she was driving along a road, her car began shaking and she crashed at high speeds, causing her to perish instantly. This has caused her spirit to be trapped in this area, in a constant state of attempting to get to her wedding in time. This has left many taxi drivers scared of driving through the region at night, in fear of accidentally picking this ghost woman up. In fact, it's been told amongst the drivers they're not to pick anyone up who looks like this ghost. If they do, the Lady in White will enter the taxi and take a seat. She'll then start to take on a terrifying form as time goes on. Other people from across the world have reported seeing this entity. The United States is another country where this lady in white ghost is commonly seen. Roads is one of the most common places to see this entity. Paranormal researchers have said that this ghost isn't necessarily evil, but out of all the paranormal entities it is the one that does like human interaction. With that being said, these mysterious women in white remain a mystery to this day. All across Thailand there has been a number of reports surrounding a ghost described similar to that of the lady in white. It's often been referred to as the locals as the Dao. According to the legend, the lady in white is commonly seen residing within a deserted house located within the district of Thaiotana. Unfortunately, the exact details of the specific address within the district remains a mystery. This is because it wouldn't be wise to enter the home with this creature inside it. With that being said, over the years a number of teenagers have been able to find the deserted house, and have entered it to attempt to prove their bravery amongst their friends. In all of the stories though, this doesn't end up well, as most of those who enter the house end up passing away within the home due to unexplained circumstances. Many locals claim that the teenagers passed away after being attacked by a lady in white spirit, and joined her in the afterlife residing in the home as trapped souls. In another reported witness account, a witness had entered the house and claimed that the spirit's name was Dao, and was ready to enact vengeance on anyone that tried to enter its domain. Unfortunately, further investigation into the matter was not taken, and no one knows exactly what the Dao is, and why it's been seen all across the country. The Yuri of Japan's forest. The Aokigahara forest of Japan has more than been at the centre of a number of frightening rumours, an impossible to explain phenomenon, so it's no surprise that a lady in white's legend finds itself at the centre of the forest. In fact, the most eerie legend behind the forest is its deep cultural history involving demonic presences. These have often been referred to as the Yuri by the locals. These spirits are described as being dressed in pure white clothing. Their hair is often long black and dishevelled, their hands dangle lifelessly, and they're said to have a lack of legs or feet. Those who've seen them have described them as floating through the air, and are frequently seen being accompanied by multiple orbs of light. One person said the following about their encounter. While walking in the forest, I encountered something I couldn't explain. I've always been interested in forests, and it's one of my goals to visit as many as I can in my lifetime. I believe that forests tell a story. This forest, however, is one that has a dark presence. It's one of those places that when you enter it, it feels very dark. One of the things I picked up on was how dark and quiet it was. Some call it peaceful, and I can see why they say that, but for me it took on a darker presence. While exploring the forest, I could see these mysterious orbs of light. There were 4 of them, and they kept pulsating. The only way I can describe it is it looked like an eyeball. As I tried to get closer to them, however, I could see a lady in white was hiding behind a tree. The lady was around 4 feet behind where the lights were. I could tell this wasn't a human as she was very faint. In fact, it was hard to see her, but I could make out certain details. After locking eyes with the entity though, I had a sudden urge to get out of the forest. Her jet black eyes and long hair looked like something from a horror movie. I ran back as fast as I could and didn't look back once. This was the first time I've encountered a spirit, and I don't plan to go anywhere else that's said to be haunted. Sightings of the Yuri in the region go as far back as the late 17th century, and to this day people are still seeing the creature. So my question to you guys is, what do you make of these lady in white legends? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.